Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a wonderful episode of Sporting Perspective. It is week 10 of the college football slate, and we have some interesting storylines to talk about right off the top. Usually, what we do is we give each other's top three things that happened in the sport from the past weekend, but we're going to do something a little bit differently today because we have two topics that are really overtaking, I guess, sports more than anything else. One, sports in general, other one, college football. And I'm just going to jump right into it before we go back and forth. This week, the sports world has been shaken up by the gambling situation that is going on in the NBA. This is something that is not new, as the NBA has had a lot of issues throughout the years with gambling, but there's a lot of things that are happening now with gambling being so in front of the U.S. people, the people of the world. It being on ESPN, you can bet on your phone. Um, I see this as an ongoing concern and an interesting situation for the leagues. But before I say anything else, James, I know I talked a lot, but I'll let you chime in here on this latest thing that happened. I know this is our college football show, and college football is also a big play of this with kids trying to make money themselves with the amount of props. But I'll give you the floor to kind of talk about this a little bit real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot to digest and something that kind of came out of left field with Chauncey Billups being the main perpetrator, and why am I blanking on the other one? Terry Rozier. Um, yeah, I guess the only thing I can really add to it is that it blows my mind that these guys of significance when it comes to the amount of money they're making choose to do these things. I mean, the only thing I can really think of is it's kind of an addiction at this point. I mean, you already make millions of dollars, so then now you want to try and go make more. I mean, Chauncey's is really interesting because he was involved in like underground poker games, tied to like the mob and the mafia. I mean, it's very strange. And then Terry Rozier is just another player in the, I guess I'll say, long list because it's longer than it really ever should be. But I mean, you have guys like Emmanuel Classe in Major League Baseball, Jonte Porter, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother with the Raptors. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is. I mean, I know a big thing is if you're gonna bet on sports, maybe don't bet on yourself or bet on the sport that you play in. Like, there's nothing wrong with Jonte Porter, Terry Rozier. You want to bet on baseball, football, go for it. But like, if you're betting yourself and betting an under on a certain prop, it's obviously becoming quite easy to figure out uh, if you're doing this illegal act. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what the answer is. One interesting thing I did see was one of the podcasts I listened to, they talked about only allowing overs so that if you do bet on yourself, you have to like try.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that. But then what they mentioned was that then you'll start getting guys, say your overs 10.5 points and you're a role player, don't really play that much. It's like, well, now they're going to start jacking up a ton of crappy shots trying to hit their over. So I don't know what the
Yeah.
answer is other than, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much of an answer either. I think the funny thing is, I think there's going to be a crackdown here in the next like 5 years with these sports books and even the government getting involved, where you can bet on anything and everything at this point. I think we're going to start seeing a crackdown on a lot of this regulated gambling, like through Caesars and MGM. They start removing some of these bets that are like, I know these are like the big ones during the big games, like what's the artist going to play at Super Bowl? Like people know what the set list is going to be. First plays. Generally these information can be leaked. I can see sports books and the government getting involved, being like, "Hey, we can't regulate these bets anymore," and almost get back to a standard. Who's going to win the game? Over unders, not all these crazy bets. Um, and like I know this is on the NBA level, but like, you know, I was seeing something on TikTok earlier this week, and it's a guy that's heavy into sports gambling, and he's like, if you look hard enough, you can bet on anything. And he was claiming that he's found places that you can even bet, like on these sites, like high school football. I
Oh,
mean, this is way down the line of like, you know, you can throw these things really easily. So this is obviously on a big scale, major platform, but like I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg. And like, I know we're in the World Series and everything like that, but like, I won't be surprised if within the next 6 weeks to 3 months, we start hearing Shohei's name again start showing up because he was involved in his own gambling scandal.
yeah, it's kind of a snowball effect. I feel like all these states rolled out online gambling, and then it just started gaining so much momentum that it's led all to this. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe they need to go back to, yeah, like you said, over unders, spreads, money lines, not stuff that you can theoretically find out if you know the right like you said. So Bad Bunny's doing the halftime show.
Yep.
He's obviously going to know his set list. There are going to be other people who's going to know his set list, and the first song he plays, does that get leaked out, and do people just
Yep.
get to make some free money because they know
Yep.
exactly what it's going to be? It needs to go back to, yeah, just basically the sports stuff that you can't predict.
Yeah. Correct. Well, that was obviously a big story in the sports world. Let's kind of zero in on what the show's about, college football, and the big story out of the college football world this past weekend. Brian Kelly not only loses, but loses his job and gets a massive payout because of it. So LSU without a coach now, over $150 million so far, and we're just at the end of October now, getting paid to coaches to not coach. Um, what was your reaction to it? We kind of predicted this one, but it's amazing the amount of money that's getting thrown around here.
Yeah, it's similar to the Penn State firing of James Franklin. It's a shit ton of money to fire a guy. Um, Whether it was necessary, I don't know, because it's like one of those things. Who else are you gonna go get? They better have, like, when Penn State did it with James Franklin, you better have someone on your mind that you want to go get. When Florida does it, well, Billy Napier sucks, so Florida
Yeah,
needs someone else, anyways.
yeah,
But Brian Kelly, he's got to be one of the best coaches to not win a national championship. So it's like, if you're firing him, and obviously he's not producing. LSU is
yep,
a school that if you're not bringing in national championships, sorry, you got to go. Um, it'll be interesting to see who they bring in. I've seen Ed Orgeron brought up again, which would
yeah,
be kind of funny. I know Kenny Dillingham is a name on the list, which would be interesting if they want to go that kind of younger, up and coming route. I hate to say this as a U of A supporter and alumnus, but he's killed it at ASU. He's done a really good job with in the short time he's been there. So yeah, I don't know where they're gonna go, but they need to knock this out of the park, because the LSU faithful are gonna start getting a little antsy, and they're gonna want they want a national championship.
yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think we don't really talk politics on the show, so I'm going to kind of side it a little bit, but we are in a shutdown right now. And the one thing a lot of people forget is these coaches at these public universities are state employees. So not only is we in a shutdown where money is kind of scarce and it's kind of like, okay, we got to be selective where we're putting our money. On top of it, we're entering into a potential coaching cycle that is not as strong as it's been in the past. There's a lot of coaches that have very much tipped their hands of saying, I'm happy where I'm at. I don't want to go. Kurt Sarkisian got paid at Indiana. I don't see Marcus Friedman leaving Notre Dame. I don't see Dan Lanning leaving Oregon. A lot of these young coaches Even Kenny Dillingham, I think he's happy at ASU. A lot of these coaches that have been up and coming and kind of good have kind of tipped their hands of being like, hey, I'm happy where what I'm building here, and I don't really want to jump ship, and I don't really want to go into almost a difficult situation having to rebuild late, especially if their team makes the playoffs, because then you're getting to that new program really late. Another thing on top of that, I think this LSU job is going to be very interesting because the governor, I just about like 2 hours ago before recording this, the governor came out and he has already said that the AD at LSU is not picking the next head coach. And he's saying he's not involved. He's already screwed up. He's wasting our money. I don't know who he's appointing. He made the joke that Donald Trump would be a better pick at picking our next head coach,
Oh God.
but which is pretty funny. But but like it kind of shows you from a even from a government level, these head coaches, this isn't the NFL. These are government employees, and you can't. I don't think LSU. I think it's already been said they're not going to kick over 15 million to a coach.
So a name I've seen thrown around is Lane Kiffin. Is there? Why would he
No,
leave? I mean, so I know.
I
So LSU theoretically is a better job, I guess, from a historical standpoint.
yeah.
But why? I mean, Lane Kiffin's got that team humming right now. I mean,
They're they're humming, and how much more money are you going to make at an LSU? Maybe 2 million, and it looks like that might even not even be the case. And then you leave an Ole Miss program where Ole Miss is thrilled going 10-2 to an LSU program where if you go 10-2, they're pissed.
yeah, it's like national championship or bust, basically.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a short list of guys. I mean, I've also seen the funny situation where James Franklin lands at LSU and Kelly lands up at Penn State. I don't see that happening, but I think that's pretty funny if that would happen.
That would be.
Um, but there's a ton of openings, but just not a lot of coaches. I mean, I'm starting to think like Brian Hartline's got to get a job, OC at Ohio State, because he's going to get a job. His name's got to get started to get thrown out there. Indiana's OCs, they've got to get, or OC and DC, they've got to get a look at this point because they've been so good for these past 2 years. I mean, I bet I saw the joke that had Dion not blown like thrown up an egg here this first half of the season, he probably would have gotten the LSU job.
Interesting.
Yeah, but his health is also in question. So
Right.
yeah, but it's just there's not a lot of guys. I mean, I've even heard Dan Mullen, and he was terrible at Florida.
Yeah, I think the easy thing for a lot of these media people is to try to pick that home run hitter.
Yeah,
And sometimes having a guy who hits singles or a up and coming guy isn't a bad option either. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like since Nick Saban left LSU, I know they have obviously they had that Ed Orgeron and Joe Burrow national championship, but it's reaching a point where it's like maybe just get someone young and hungry and new. And I mean, you're paying Ed Orgeron still. You're obviously paying Brian Kelly, so you might just have to go the semi cheap route and just find that next up and coming guy who can
and that's
really just build that program up.
that's how a lot of the programs today. A lot of these programs we're talking about today. That's how they've kind of gone. It's a lot of young guys that were OCs, DCs at James Madison. They got their opportunity and they blew it up. So
Right.
some of the best coaches are just that recipe. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know his name, but the head coach at James Madison, I wouldn't be surprised if he got a head coaching job at one of these big schools too.
How about
Um,
the Vanderbilt coach? Would there be any reason for him to leave? I mean, I know he's
he could
building
go.
Vanderbilt to be a really good program, but
It's one of those things of how much does he believe in Vanderbilt, but I have seen his name kicked around a little bit too. Um, it's very possible.
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Well, next week, just a preview, we will finally have the first look at the college football playoffs as the college football playoff reveal show for the first time this season will be next Tuesday. So that will be obviously one of our big talking points next week, which I'm excited about. Always cool to see. But before then, we got a weekend of football that we need to talk about in 5 games, a lot of SEC games to talk about. So we might as well jump right on into it and start with a pretty good one. Number 9, Vanderbilt, able to squeeze out that victory out of Missouri last week, taking on Texas. I don't think we have a word on Manning playing or not. I know he was in concussion protocol. I don't think he's cleared it yet, but this game is in Austin. Who do you got?
I got to roll with Vanderbilt. They've just been impressing me all season. I think they're better than they were last year, and I know it seems like every week I mention this guy, but Diego Pavia is he's that guy. He's that guy you want leading your team. Um, yeah, Texas has just been a little too up and down. I mean, they got a big win against Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry, but Manning still just really hasn't had that, breakout game yet, that statement game against a, a big team. He was fine in the Oklahoma game, but I really want to just see 300 yards and 3 touchdowns or more. Just something that shows me like, okay, this kid really is supposed to be good and dominant. But I don't know. This just seems like kind of a year of destiny for Vanderbilt. So I'm picking them to win on the road. I guess it wouldn't technically be an upset, but I think they squeak it out.
Yeah, I'm going to take Vandy as well. Texas had to give Mississippi State everything they had to squeeze out that one. I just don't think this is Texas's year. Vanderbilt, it does feel like their year, so I'm going to take Vanderbilt. Talking about rivalry games,
Oh
number
wait,
5. Oh,
simulation.
simulation, yes.
I will pretty much say I don't think this will happen, but the simulation had Texas winning 52-16,
Jesus.
and that has. I mean, I think it had like Texas as like the 22 and Vanderbilt 9. These are updating week over week. Not necessarily the player rankings,
Yeah,
depth charts, but like it's updating. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's a
yeah,
little crazy.
yeah. All right. Well, number 5 Georgia taking on Florida. This game is played in that Tallahassee Stadium, or not Tallahassee, Jacksonville Stadium. Um, the good old rivalry.
Yeah, this is playing at the Jacksonville Stadium Everbank. Honestly, I think it'll be a little closer of a game just because maybe the guys will be fired up with that new interim coach. That always seems to be something that happens. The coach gets fired, and then the team, whether they have a new game plan or just come out a little more fired up because they weren't really doing it for that old coach. I don't know. I still don't think Florida's really that good. So I mean, Georgia's number 5 for a reason. I've talked about how their quarterback, I'm blanking on his name right now, but
Stockton.
Stockton, yeah. I'm not sold on him, but I think the rest of the Georgia players are obviously just fine. And I think being in a neutral site, I still think Georgia handles Florida, but I don't think they blow them out.
Yeah, I feel very much the same way. I got Georgia. I think it's going to be within a score. It's competitive. It's a rivalry game, but Georgia will edge it out. Just a little too much talent for Florida.
And the video game sim has Georgia winning 28-22.
Yeah, I can see a score like that happening. That makes sense to me. South Carolina, who's looked good all season, just doesn't really have the record to prove it. Just kind of close games here and there. Going to Ole Miss, number 7, who defeated LSU.
Yeah, I really like the South Carolina quarterback for the NFL in his future. He's just not quite having the season that I think that even I predicted. I think South Carolina was my dark horse team for the SEC. Yeah, they just can't seem to win football games right now. Going on the road to Ole Miss is tough. Ole Miss is also just having a really, really good season. They're squeaking out games against Washington State at home, but then also going on the road and winning when they need to as well. So I think they handle this one at home. I mean, I really like Lenora Sellers, but I think Ole Miss overall is just a better team and just has more playmakers across the board. So yeah, Ole Miss at home.
I've got Ole Miss too, but I think this game's going to be close. I think Ole Miss just wins by a touchdown. I think South Carolina stays in it the whole way, but Ole Miss finds a way to win it at home in the end. It's just going to be close.
Simulation: South Carolina 23, Ole Miss 13.
Okay, so they got the upset. Um, Number 18, Oklahoma heading to Knoxville to take on number 14. Um, I guess Oklahoma's still barely alive in the playoff. Tennessee definitely needs this one to put themselves in a good situation.
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee because I think it means more to them, and I just haven't seen enough out of John Mateer since those first like 4 games he played. It's almost like the luck has kind of run out, or his pixie juice is on empty. I don't know what it is, but he went from Heisman favorite to, I guess Heisman finalist, to now he's kind of probably dropped himself out of the Heisman running. So I could be wrong. Maybe there still is a little left in the tank for John Mateer, but yeah, I just haven't seen it from Oklahoma these past couple weeks. Tennessee to me is just the better team, and they're playing at home. And fans in Tennessee, you can be singing Rocky Top after they win at home.
Yeah, I'm not going to add too much to what you just said. I think going into Knoxville is a hard place to play. Oklahoma's really going to the gauntlet of the SEC. I'm going to take Tennessee. Oklahoma's just not what they were at the beginning part of the season.
Looks like the simulation has potentially John Mateer having a really good game because simulation has Oklahoma winning 37-15.
Jeez, not close games by the simulations This week, jeez. Um, all right, well, let's do a Big 12 matchup here. Number 17, Cincinnati having a nice season, kind of flying a little bit under the radar. Ran an out 17, heading to Utah, number 24 Utah. Always a tough place to play, and they killed Oklahoma. They killed Colorado last week.
Yeah. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Utah's a tough place to play at night. Utah gets the job done at home. I love their quarterback. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the things I've mentioned before. They're looking a lot like the Utah teams we've seen in the last, 5, even 10 years. Dominant run game, good defense. Yeah, fans should be fired up for this game. Cincinnati, I do like their quarterback. I can't think of his name right now, but he loves to just get the ball and just plow forward and run right into the back of his lineman and just like chug out some yards. He's having a really good season. Yeah, you said it. Cincinnati, they've got to be the team that no one saw coming out of the Big 12, but
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think they pull it off at Utah. So I'm taking Utah.
Yep, I got Utah as well for basically every reason that you just mentioned. Nothing really to add to that one. I got Utah.
Simulation has Cincinnati winning 22-14.
Okay. All right. Well, before we wrap up this show, um, in the spirit of Halloween, we decided let's do our top 5 costumes we have worn on Halloween throughout the years. We have many different choices as we're both in our 30s and went through college and everything and wonderful. Um, we're going to share our top 5 favorite costumes we've gone as being in the Halloween spirit. So, James, I'll let you go first. What was your number 5?
So my number 5, I put a mummy. It was that stereotypical costume that most little kids go as. You just wrap yourself in toilet paper until you can't see any skin. So I didn't actually use. So the reason I put mummy though is because one, I remember being a mummy. It was kind of hard for me to try to think back to all the different costumes I've had over the years. But with my mom being a doctor, she wrapped me in gauze, so it was a little thicker,
Oh, okay.
and then it didn't. Toilet paper rips easily, so
Yeah.
this stuff didn't rip, and it was, yeah, it was nice. So yeah,
Nice.
mummy. I got a mummy. Mummy at
Cool.
5.
My number five, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm actually doing it this year because I'm doing a murder mystery in like 2 days. So I had to go as I'm going as Indiana Jones. I needed to go as an archaeologist, so Indiana Jones kind of fits the mold. I had the costume ready, already put it on, so technically I kind of put it included. But I'm doing it a couple days. It looks good. It's a future, but I'm going to put it at number five. I'm excited about it.
Give the whip.
I do. I do. I have the whole outfit.
Oh,
So,
nice.
pretty excited. Yeah.
All right, number four, I put again. I'm kind of going with that little kid. Seems like uh, every little boy dresses up as it at some point, but I'm pretty sure for like 3 or 4 consecutive years I went as a ninja. So
All
just
right.
a fun costume
Fun,
that
fun one.
every little kid wants to fight and like throw punches and kicks. So yeah, ninja at number four.
Okay. So, my number four, it was a college one. And I don't think I was in this costume for more than 15 minutes, but I remember I did this with a couple friends. We went as bananas, a bunch of bananas. You've seen the banana suit?
Oh yeah.
Uh, yep. Yeah, I don't think I was in that costume for more than about 15 minutes, but it was pretty fun. So I had to put it. It was unique. I don't think everyone goes as a banana, but college. That's all I'll
Did
say
you go
on
to a
that one.
sporting event in the banana suit?
No, we went to it was a house party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, house party.
All right, number three. I went as the Red Power Ranger, and I had gloves that I put on where when you punched, it made that like that whoosh sound.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay, cool.
so yeah, I mean, classic '90s television show. Again, every little kid, girl and boy, wanted to be the Power Rangers, so that was a fun
Okay,
one.
that's a good one. That's a good one. My third one, this one was actually pretty easy, and I still have the jersey. I went as Jackie Moon. It
Hell
was
yes,
easy, just yeah, just put on the basketball shorts, and then
an
the
afro.
Jackie Moon and the afro. That's all I had to do. It was really easy. I know I still have the jersey. I don't know where it's at, but I still have the jersey. I think it still fits. But Jackie Moon was number three.
All right, number two. This would have been, I don't even know, 10 years ago? It was like mid to late 20s.
Okay.
It was definitely pre COVID. So yeah, probably anywhere between 25 to, we'll say 29. I went as Bob Ross one year.
Oh,
So
that's a good one. That's a
that was
great one.
fun.
Yeah.
Had the easel, had the paintbrush, had the afro. Yeah, yeah, it was easy. I mean, it's literally you just wear jeans and a button down, a white button
Yeah,
down, and then
that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah.
So my number two, this was actually just a couple years ago. Uh, Alex can't believe I did this, but I won as a minion, but like the minion that you inflate. So it
Oh
was the
yeah, yeah.
big, I was the big puffy Bob, and just like running up and down the street. Um, I picked up pizza in the minion costume. That was pretty
Wait,
fun.
Alex can't believe it because she has never
We
seen you
were
do it, or she like couldn't
she
believe that
couldn't
you
bel
could do that.
she couldn't believe it because I told her, you go as a minion, you just get like the overalls and like the eye, and
Yeah.
instead I went with the inflatable
Okay.
minion, so like the big puffy thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
um, kind of waddle around. So yeah, I went as the big puffy minion.
All right, number one. I put this as number one because it was by far the longest and most tedious Halloween costume I've done, but I got a lot of compliments I remember on it. I think it was like fifth or sixth grade. Yeah, fifth or sixth grade. That sounds about right. My dad got me a camping. So I had a camping backpack, like one of those big camping backpacks that went up way above your head, right?
Okay.
So then you wrap fake arms around your head and try to make it like your body is up here. So basically, I was a headless man. So I had fake arms holding my head like this with like that big backpack and a big shirt that went around to make it look like I was like a person, no head up there, just holding my
Yeah,
head.
that's
So
cool.
It was sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that's a memorable one. So my number one is actually a pretty memorable one too. And this was one of my, actually, no way, it was my junior year in college. Went to a Halloween party as the Godfather, and the name just, so it's just a suit, like nothing like crazy. But the name, for whatever reason, just stuck. So for like the next 4 years, one of my nicknames at Pepperdine was the Godfather. So I would just show up in a suit from place to place, and they would just call, "Oh my God, the Godfather's here." I'm like, all right. So it was kind of a nickname that kind of forever stuck, and it
There
was
you
like,
go.
all right, I guess we're going to stick with this, and that's why I put it at number one. Is it kind of, it stayed alive for quite a few years. So I'll leave that at number one. It was remembered for many years. So
Nice.
yeah. Um, all right. Well, I don't think I got anything else to say for this episode.
Yeah, I'm good.
Covered a lot of ground. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back tomorrow talking NFL, full slate of games, week 9. Got through by Mageddon. We'll be also talking our favorite Halloween candies. So be ready. And we'll see you all tomorrow.